One, two, three, action. Play the video. Alright, so I know it's pretty late. It's already past 12 midnight where I'm from here in Panama. My name is Gian, and as you know, I am a South African who is meddling in foreign affairs, specifically right now in the United States of America, in the elections coming up. And I am one vote for Andrew Yang with the freedom dividend and the principles behind humanity first. Now, I've seen that there is news coming out that Andrew Yang is being backed into a corner with his Medicare for all plan. But what you have to understand is that the media, MSNBC, ABC, all the news outlets, plus now the Young Turks and so many others are making this booyah over his medical plans with what he's proposing. And the idea here is, and especially from the media, is that they want to create a single focus that they can use against a candidate to get rid of that candidate. And this is what they're going to try and do with Andrew Yang. Now, the voters is the people they have to convince, even if it means that they are taking one point and they blow it up. So what they're doing is they're not showing you the whole picture, they're cherry picking. And within this cherry picking, they are going to find every single mistake, every single thing that they can, and make this person bad. For example, where Andrew Yang does call his plan a Medicare for all. And now they're trying to show him how he's a liar, how he's been lying, how he's not been truthful, and how he says in his ads these things, but when you look at what he's actually proposing, that it's not the same, that there isn't even a public option. So they use all these specific words to get you to have doubt. That's what they want to create, doubt. Now I'm here to remove your doubt today. Because one thing that the Young Turks, and I watched their interview now where they didn't even talk to Andrew Yang, they used the interviews from the media to show everyone, like, look, he's getting backed into a corner and we don't agree. So they're actually saying they agree with the establishment and the establishment's feedback. Fascinating, right? Because the Young Turks claim that they are so not with the establishment, that they're so different and unique. But what they failed to do was to look at all of Andrew Yang's policies and realize that Andrew Yang has a holistic solution, a mathematical solution to the problems in the United States of America. And Andrew Yang has the first and the most vital solution, which is the freedom dividend. The freedom dividend is inclusive in every single other policy that Andrew Yang has. So even if you don't have a Medicare for all as Bernie Sanders is proposing it, you still have the freedom dividend, $1,000 a month. Okay, that is the first and foremost solution that you can give all USA citizens, from the homeless to the super rich. Everyone gets it. So that is the first thing that they missed, is that shit, Andrew Yang has a freedom dividend of $1,000 a month that he's going to give to every single citizen. That changes everything. Then you have to create a holistic view. If you are capable of such intellectual designs in your mind, where you take the freedom dividend and you place it into every single other policy, every single other solution that Andrew Yang gives, and you see a trickle-up solution. That's the first thing that everyone has to remember is, gang, do not lose sight. Develop your holistic viewing. See how you can see everything play out. So when you see the media, when you see the alternative news outlets, here I'm even mentioning The Hill, I'm even mentioning the Young Turks now, because it seems like they all still fall for the narrow-minded view of how things are. It's like they see everything independent. So when you have a Medicare for all bill, they see it as independent. They don't look at every single other policy. So what everyone needs to remember is that Andrew Yang has a holistic solution. And that is what the Young Turks, MSNBC, everyone misses and deliberately, I suspect, even leave out. If you go to Andrew Yang's page and you read through policies, you'll see how he adds in the freedom dividend to every single other policy, or most of them, to show you that it's a holistic solution. So what sets Andrew Yang apart from every single other candidate is that he's got an actual starting point, which is the freedom dividend, that solves already I would say 50% of the problems in the United States of America, such as poverty, all right, such as people not being able to afford basic needs or have a healthy lifestyle, have mental help, professional help, because the freedom dividend will give that to you. And also in the department of education, the freedom dividend builds that foundation in every single family. Now, if you take that freedom dividend and you pull it through to the medical plans, and you pull it through to all the other plans, the environment, climate change, everything, the freedom dividend is the first point you need to focus on, because that's going to change how you even assess problems afterwards. What is real problems and what is not real problems. So you can't not include the freedom dividend before looking at Andrew Yang's Medicare for All bill. You cannot not include the freedom dividend when looking at Andrew Yang's climate change plan. You have to include the freedom dividend, and you have to include what the implications are for change with giving every single United States of American citizen $1,000 a month. How does that change reality on the ground? And how does that change what problems we're assessing and what is real problems and what's not real problems? So that's where the freedom dividend is completely ignored with this interviews now of MSNBC and the Young Turks. They are completely ignoring the foundational solution that Andrew Yang places into every single other policy. And that is very important. If people cannot create a holistic view that Andrew Yang is moving with this campaign, they will attack him on every single policy individually and try and break him down like that. So what sets Andrew Yang apart is the freedom dividend. What makes Andrew Yang's policies extremely relevant and how they are functioning is the freedom dividend. If people cannot take the freedom dividend and pull it through in every argument they have about Andrew Yang or Andrew Yang's policies, then they do not understand Andrew Yang's campaign one bit, and they cannot therefore talk about Andrew Yang's policies. They can't criticize it because they're ignoring the biggest factor, that the freedom dividend is going to create a foundational change throughout society that's going to change your problems. It's going to change what people want and don't want. It's going to change how you can affect the medical industry. It's going to change how you can affect the educational institutions. It's going to change everything. So once you give people that $1,000 a month, you're going to have to actually reassess all the problems because they're going to change. And you're going to actually have to come up with newer policies, newer ideas, because the freedom dividend in itself is going to solve so many problems on its own that you can then in the end start creating different ways to solve things. So when you see this slamming happening on the news outlets, even now with the alternative news groups like the Young Turks, always hold within you the holistic view, the freedom dividend. Do not forget, do not get narrow-minded, which is what the media wants. They want to make you narrow-minded, to focus on that one point, to create doubt, so that you stop moving with a fearful force of fire to bring change to the world. They want to break Andrew Yang down. And this has become clear to me, especially when I see how they conduct these interviews and where they deliberately leave out how the freedom dividend will affect every single policy. That's true. The thing is, most Americans haven't heard of Yang. And that is a huge problem on the media side. And that's why it's our job to make these videos, such as what I'm making now. Even though I'm a South African, I hope I reach people on the internet, and I do have more than 2,000 Facebook friends who are United States of American citizens, and I do have more than 1,400 subscribers on this channel who is also global. So every person I reach, hopefully they share this, they like this, and that reaches another 10 people. That's the power of 10. One person reaches 10 people each reach 10 people. That's how we reach people through the web, through speaking and through communicating. And I can see, as a foreigner living way far away from the USA, I can see this from an outside perspective, an outside view, and I'm trying to help the American people to see a little bit different. I come from a country that's a third world country, where poverty, crime, rape and murder is your daily life. Now, if you want that in America, you're going to allow the media to control you. You're going to allow the media to sway you. You're going to allow the media to create doubt in you. You're going to allow the media to decide your politicians for you based on ideologies, based on bullshit. You need to stand up and change, because if you don't, just look to South Africa. That's the future for first world countries if they don't bring a UBI to the people. Yeah, the media has a lot of power, but you know, there's billions of us, and billions of us can come together and we can decide. We're the people with the most power. You know, we can turn the TV off, but most people don't. Brainwashing is deep, I understand. Yeah, Ron Paul, I remember Ron Paul, I watched him. And now Yang, yeah. See, Yang is holistic. And I need to get that through to people, because the media is not holistic. They like to have it narrow-minded. They use emotion. So they get you angry, they get you doubtful, they get you furious, they get you charged up on one point. And they're going to be very deliberate to always make Andrew Yang's point seem like one point, and not the holistic design that is mathematically looked at as Andrew Yang have. Just read The War on Normal People, read his book, and you will see his mind is holistic. So his policy in place, he considers it with all other policies, and he considers it mainly from the starting point of the freedom dividend, and how that in itself will already heal and correct and change so much in society. So always consider that. This hangout has to stop right now. I have to go. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope this helps. Please share, like, and subscribe. And let's get the Yang Gang not doubtful, and let's hold our realistic view, and let's move forward with the freedom dividend and humanity first principle. Cheers, everyone.